Good day, everyone. Hello, and how are you doing today? I will just be introducing myself and briefly, as well as the course, to give you an idea on what we'll be talking about throughout the semester. I have to admit that for this class, since it's all about technology, information management, I would really appreciate that if you go along with me. Let's utilize some tools. It's a blended learning for us, new ways to learn. So this is just one way for me to reach out to you, even though if we don't meet in class. So for the first time, well, it's this is not actually my first time to introduce a lecture through a video. I have done this also in my undergraduate classes. So this course is all about IT controls, information management, and related technology as well. There's a lot that we could talk about technology, how these things uh, can be utilized as we go along in our day-to-day lives, in the way we operate our businesses, and everything else, almost being run in technology. But today, IT has a very big impact in terms of how we operate, how we communicate, and everything else. And that's because information nowadays is an important asset for the organization, and it needs to be secured, it needs to be in place. Okay? So, but before anything else, of all these technology things that we have been discussing, one of the very first things that I always consider myself when it comes to these things is that internal controls should be the first thing. So I hope you would get along with me, and please do interact, especially in the class. I would really appreciate it. So I have a quote here. It says, "The more you try to control something, the more it controls you. So free yourself and let things take their own natural course." So at some point in our life, maybe we could learn from it, or we could learn with this quote as we learn something in this class. Okay? So that's actually my daughter in the picture. As a brief introduction, it would be best that we get to know each other. So I will let you introduce yourself when we see each other in class. Not unless if you could also reply to me via video. How's that? Okay. So as a profile, my name is Larry Vincent Rahensha. I'm a graduate of the BS Business Computer Applications. I've also finished my master's in business administration and took a certificate course in financial market professionals. Currently, I'm the chairperson of the BCA department. At the same time, of course, I'm a faculty of the College of Business Administration. Formerly, I am the IT internal auditor of the university, one of the IT internal auditors. I also work as a freelancer. I develop software, simple ones, not the very big ones. I do also some consultancy. Other affiliations, I am a Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert, Microsoft Education Ambassador, member of the Internet Society, former member ISACA, or Information Systems Audit and Control Association. All right. So I believe many of you know or familiar with my face, and probably some of you know me personally as well. So I hope to know more about you as well as we see each other in class. At this point, I want to introduce to you just a brief introduction in terms of how we are going to tackle the course. As you can see, the subject matter itself is already broad. So, and this has been fused together because if you're going to look closely later on, they are basically interrelated. Of course, we can discuss these things separately, but connecting them for me makes more sense, and hopefully to you soon. So we will be discussing first on internal controls. So uh, hopefully we can meet this coming Saturday. I will introduce briefly some topics on internal controls, and this will be followed by a lecture by one of the reporters on internal controls for small and business organizations. And since we have public administration students here, it will also be followed by the internal controls that are being put in place by the government. So it would give us an idea as well in terms of comparing private and public, I mean the government rather, government as an entity, if they have also been establishing the internal controls. So now, regardless whether it's an internal control both in private or in the government, we have we will be discussing IT controls. So in relation to the internal controls, IT controls will just be on top of the internal controls, meaning to say the internal control serves as the basis, your foundation, in order for your organization to work and to operate on a daily basis. Because if you start a business, especially if you're in retail, you want to start small. Probably nowadays it would not matter so much to us whether you have started a business either plain manual or automated. But even then, you cannot always engage directly by deploying technology because you don't want to take the risk of investing so much and then no returns is coming in. No returns are coming in. So you have to take consideration in terms of balancing. There should be a balance between your investment towards technology over the controls that you have implemented in your business. In that way, by implementing the internal controls, then you invest in technology, you will also still, those internal controls that you have created should not be compromised with the inclusion of technology in the organization. Otherwise, if you compromise it, management or the information that you're keeping it will always be compromised. That's how simple it is for me, I guess. Since not every one of you are computer majors or IT majors, we are going to look into more detail into these topics. But as for now, I'll be giving you, together with this email or this video, I'll be sending you some reading materials. Now, talking about internal controls, the Committee of Sponsoring Organization of the Treadway Commission, or COSO, is one of the forerunner of when it comes to internal controls. They have created this one in order to create to serve as a guidelines for many organizations, both public, private, and even government. So the materials that I'll be sending you in are all taken from the internet, and in fact, you can even watch videos with regards to the COSO. Although, but before we reach this one, I'm introducing this one so that you will have an idea, the overall picture of how the internal control would look like eventually. But to be honest, before this one, or any small businesses do not need a COSO framework. What they need are the basic internal controls, and with that, it will be discussed by our reporter next meeting. All right. So if you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email. Do not hesitate. We will be utilizing emails mostly. I have to admit, I do not have a Facebook account. I would prefer we communicate through email. All right? So I'll see you in class, and I hope you will also enjoy watching the intramural games. And cheer for CBA. See you.